Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Dudeness. As we push through December here, we're going to be discussing some things. I gave you a little preview during the Manly Mashup of what you can kind of expect this month for episodes. And we're going to be touching on here later in the month, kind of as the new year wraps up. Everybody sort of decides to set some goals for themselves, our New Year's resolutions, all that stuff. So, with that said, the one thing that we have to defeat, which is one of my biggest downfalls, is, and I'm being very honest here, and it's very hard for me to sometimes admit my faults because I'm a very proud man, and I don't like to kind of show, when I've what kind of owning my shit right now, basically, right? So which is something that every man needs to do is own their shit. So procrastination is just one of my biggest downfalls. I am a fucking procrastinator with everything. And it's gotten to the point sometimes where I have to set myself up a schedule and reminders and all kinds of stuff. Now, I can say the things that I really enjoy to do, I don't really procrastinate on, but I really enjoy doing this podcast. But sometimes I'm just dragging my ass and I'm putting it off and I'm not doing I'm not staying on top of it. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. And I wait to the last minute. And I think that generally, myself, I notice in quality of my episodes when I was prepared and when I was not, kind of when my heart's in it and when it's not. And I'm sure you guys do too. But with that said, what we need to do first, right, is we need to break down what is procrastination? What is it? What is the definition? Procrastination is the act of delaying or putting off a task until the last minute or past its deadline. It can be self-defeating behavior pattern that has short-term benefits but long-term costs, right? And so that's what it is. But why do we do it? Why do we procrastinate? Well, here's some reasons why. Thank you to the AI that we now have available to us in the world. Here are some reasons why people procrastinate. They don't think they'll enjoy the task. They fear they won't do it well. They're confused by the task complexity. They're distracted or fatigued. They have negative associations with the task. Makes sense, right? So with that said, why is it bad, right? So procrastination sometimes can be healthy, but there's definitely a difference, right? So why is it bad? Well, procrastination can be bad because it can impact your mental health. Procrastination can lead to depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and other mental health challenges. It can also create stress, which can lead to other mental health concerns. It can impact your physical health. Procrastination can lead to poor sleep quality, physical inactivity, and other unhealthy lifestyle behaviors. It can impact academic performance. Rushing to complete an assignment at the last minute can lead to mistakes, can impact self-regulation. Procrastination can make it hard to plan ahead or pause before reacting. It can impact our self-worth. Procrastination can make people feel unproductive, lazy, and ineffectual. Yeah. Okay. And it also can impact our relationships. Procrastination can lead to missed opportunities such as team outing or a professional development workshop. If you're if you want to go maybe, well, it's like this. How many times have we seen those have we seen those sitcoms, right? And it's the wife's birthday, of course, because in a sitcom, the man always plays the dumb one most of the time. But the husband forgot the anniversary or has been putting it off, and it slipped her mind, and all of a sudden, oh, now it's our anniversary, and I don't understand why she was so mad at me this morning, and what did I do wrong? What could today pot? Oh, it's our anniversary. So what do? They stop by the gas station and they get, some flowers that are half dead and a candy bar and like a magazine, right? Um, you want to stay ahead of things. Another thing that, we just got done with Black Friday here a little while ago. And if you anticipated, right, and you were prepared and you didn't procrastinate, you definitely had the opportunity to save some money on Christmas gifts, or get some things that you have needed to get, and you could have missed the opportunity to save a decent amount of money, which makes you now have less money, which makes you have to work harder, which has more impact on your physical and mental health. So do you see how this goes here? But um, you know, procrastination also can be self-defeating. Like I just said, procrastination may try to undermine procrastinators may try to undermine their own best efforts. But there are some things that procrastination is positive, but I don't know if I would call it this. So I think there is a time, or I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hold on one second. Let's just back up. So as we're going through here, right? I'm sitting here telling you why maybe you don't even know what procrastination is or what type of procrastination you have. So let's break that down. So we're going to go through, and here's some types of procrastination. Perfectionist. Procrastinators who are afraid of making mistakes or being judged and may spend too much time planning and refining details. And then at the deadline, we'll have to hurry up, try to get everything done, get stressed out. The quality will be poor, and it just is not a good situation all around. The dreamer. Procrastinators who enjoy brainstorming and planning big ideas, but have trouble with the detailed work to execute them. The defier. Procrastinators who don't believe someone should dictate their time schedule. I think I might be one of those, a defier. That's what my wife tells me, at least. A worrier. Procrastinators who are afraid of change or leaving the comfort of the known. Probably more me. Crisis maker. Procrastinators who likely working under pressure and deliberately finish tasks at the last minute. I think there's something to be said for people who really thrive under pressure. I think that could be a good quality, but the issue is I think that pressure should not come because you fucked around. I think it should be because you're very good at problem solving, and under immense pressure and stress, you can think clearly and maybe work better. But that doesn't mean that that's how you should be all the time, because it's very high stress, boosts cortisol levels. It's just not. It's not good to be that way all the time. Um, let's see. The overdoer. Procrastinators who take on too much and struggle with finding time to start and complete tasks. Busy procrastinator. Procrastinators who have trouble prioritizing tasks and fill their calendar with things to do. The active procrastinator. Procrastinators who deliberately postpone decisions or actions to use the pressure of a near deadline as motivation. And then lastly, decisional procrastination, a form of cognitive thinking that helps the procrastinator put off deciding on a task to face a more stressful situation. Are you one of these? Can you identify if you maybe Maybe you don't know you're a procrastinator and I just called you out on it. I don't know. But can you, out of these definitions, are you a perfectionist, a dreamer, a defier, a worrier, a crisis maker, overdoer, busy procrastinator, active procrastination, or decisional procrastination? Are you one of these? Does this describe you? We really need to look at this because here's the thing. Like I said, as going forward here in the show, we're going to be discussing setting goals, right? That's a huge thing. Everybody does it at the beginning of every year. Okay. It's just something that we do. It feels good, right? We're determined. It's a new year. We're ready to get off our ass and get our shit together. And most of the time, it's about losing weight. I'll be honest, or saving money. Something that I think that a lot of people in general have a very hard time doing. In order to be successful at this, you cannot be a procrastinator. And I am being the biggest fucking hypocrite right now because I am a huge procrastinator. And maybe this episode is more for me than it is for everybody else. Maybe I'm trying to work through my shit and get myself hyped up and help myself by doing this episode to tell other people that maybe this is my way to practice what I preach, kind of thing, right? And it's tough. It is. It's very difficult. But what we also need to break down is we need to know the difference, right? Because there's a difference between being patient or methodical, being a procrastinator. I've worked with people that it may look like procrastination, but what they're doing is they are being methodical and really taking the time to plan something out before they do it. This sometimes is necessity, depending on maybe your job or what you have going on, right? We don't just build a house by starting to slap boards together. Okay, that's not how it works. We have to have a blueprint. We have to have drawings. We need to get an idea of exactly what we're trying to do here. That's you need to be prepared, right? So there's a difference between being prepared and procrastinating. When you're preparing, though, you're actively still doing something. No, you're not building the house, but you are actively putting in the work in order to be able to build the house. So I think this is important to state, because I don't want someone to think that, oh my God, I'm this huge piece of shit procrastinator. I can't fucking believe this. What have I done with my life? Oh my God, how have I ever gotten anything accomplished? I don't want someone to be critical of today's discussion. I want you to be able to identify procrastination and identify patience and identify being methodical and identify kind of the opposite of procrastination. Just because, being active, Rolling Stone gathers no moss, right? So people who procrastinate gather moss. If you're still actively doing something, a great way is another great example is, maybe you start this exercise routine, right? And at first you're going to the gym 6 days a week. You're working out and you're doing all this stuff, and it's like a huge, huge part of your life. Okay. Well, sometimes life happens. Sometimes we get off track. So what do you do instead? Let's fast forward. Are you a procrastinator if maybe you're just getting up every day, or at some point during your day, you're parking in the back of the parking lot when you go to the store, or you're going out for a walk around your block? No, you're not going to the gym, 6 days a week because you're finding other reasons not to, right? But as long as you're moving forward, I think that's a lot to be said. You're procrastinating a little bit, but it's nothing to the point where it's completely stopping you, right, from kind of obtaining a goal. It's just slower. Uh, Slow and steady wins the race, right? That's a saying, tortoise and the hare, all that good stuff. So when we're talking about procrastination, the opposite doesn't have to be gung ho, right? We don't have to like be a fucking speed demon and, try to do 30 hours of work in 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? We just need to keep moving. We need to not put things off, I guess we'll say. So yeah, you need to identify the difference, and I think that's a very important key to this discussion. So now we're going to come down to ways to stop procrastinating. Now, there's many ways of doing this, and you need to kind of find the best for you. But some techniques to overcome procrastination are breaking tasks into smaller steps. Make tasks more manageable by breaking them down into subtasks. Setting deadlines. Set a specific and realistic goals and include due dates on your to-do list. Removing distractions. Turn off sources of distraction like social media or news. Recognizing warning signs when you start to think about procrastinating. Force yourself to work on the task for a few minutes. Rewarding yourself. When you finish a task on time, celebrate and reward yourself. These are all great things. Personally, myself, what I like to do is I like to set myself up a to-do list for a long time. And we've talked before. And if you if you go over to a very dear friend of mine's podcast called Keep Fighting, he also that's this focus of his show is to make you successful in life and kind of make you better than you were yesterday, I guess we'll say, right? So he discusses quite a bit about his morning routine. And when you start off with a morning routine, it's a way to make you successful. But if you're a procrastinator, this is something that can be very, very difficult for you to do. So, as being the procrastinator, I will tell you how I started to do this. Number one, wake up earlier. You have more time to get some things done where you're not being bothered or distracted. And maybe you're sacrificing 1 hour less of sleep. Okay, go to bed 1 hour earlier. This is I have people in my house like many people do, right? But I get up early and that's my me time. Gives me time to work on this podcast and figure out video ideas for the YouTube channel and Odyssey and Rumble. It gives me time to search through social media, come up with ideas, stuff like that. Listen to other podcasts or watch other YouTube channels. It just gives me my time to drink my coffee, be calm, prepare myself for the day. Okay? So now we have an hour. We're up earlier. We're up an hour early. We have an hour that we used to not have. What can we fill that time with? It shouldn't really be sitting. You can sit, right? But you should be trying to actively do something. So this is all part of your morning routine. So let's break it down into smaller steps, like it was suggested in our techniques to overcome procrastination. I'm going to get up. I'm going to come downstairs. I'm going to take a leak. Okay? Usually that's everybody's first steps of the day. I'm going to go out to the kitchen. I'm not going to sit on the couch. I'm going to go out to the kitchen. I'm going to turn the light on, and I'm going to make a pot of coffee. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let the dog out. Or cat, or maybe you have nothing. I don't know. Have an imaginary fucking pet. I don't know. I'm going to let my dog out. I guess I'll do it from the perspective of me. I'm going to let my dog out. Okay. And then the whole time I'm fucking exhausted. I haven't sat down yet. Like I'm tired. but I got to keep moving here, right? I got to wake up. I don't want to sit. I'm looking at that couch. I'm ready to sit down, but I'm not going to, right? Because there is stuff that I need to get done in the morning that if I procrastinate doing that, that is going to offset my entire day and is going to stress me out, and I will be underprepared for my day. This is why morning routine is important. This sets tone for the rest of your day. Those procrastinators, like I used to be, or am, but as far as getting up, we love that fucking snooze button, don't we? Man, we'll hit that thing 1,000 fucking times in the morning. Then what happens? The last one goes off, and we crack our eyes open and say, holy shit, it's daylight out. What time is it? Oh, fuck, I gotta be to work in 10 minutes. That's procrastination. This is what we're trying to avoid. Now you're in a panic. You're trying to put your pants on. You're trying to find your keys. Your morning, your day is a disaster. Okay? By discussing this procrastination and trying to get rid of it, we are making ourselves better because we are making ourselves calmer. It's all about staying calm. When we're calm, we have less stress. We have a stress-free day. We can focus on things better. We feel better. We have a better mood. So anyway, where was I? Okay. So I'm letting out the dog. Okay, coffee's done. I'm going to have my coffee. Some folks suggest drinking 40 ounces of water to start your day. Sadly, I am not there yet. But do agree that we also need to hydrate. So, and if you're not a coffee drinker, drink some water. Maybe a little juice. I wouldn't go too heavy on the juice, but I'll be honest with you. I'm not in the best physical shape, as you can see, or have seen if you watch the YouTube channel, or Rumble or Odyssey. I'm a big man, so I could probably do without the juice. Anyhow, we go from we're having our coffee now. All right, now I'm going to sit down. Dog's all set. I have some time. I look at my clock. Okay, I've got 35 minutes before I got to get the first kid up. I sit down. I start thinking, what am I going to do for the podcast this week, this month? Whatever hobby you have. If you don't have a hobby, if you don't do a podcast, if you don't do a YouTube, that's great too. You know what you can do? Read some positive news. Meditate. Go for a walk. Take a shower. Do some laundry. Make breakfast. If you don't normally have breakfast, start making breakfast. Find something constructive to fill that time with. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to I look at the clock. I said, okay, I get the first kid up. Get them moving, and then I go back to doing what I'm doing, or maybe I'll pack my lunch, or maybe I'll make my lunch, whatever. And then I'll go possibly locate my clothes or something, depending on where the piles of laundry are that day. And check on the first kid, make sure they're out of bed, they're moving. I always wake my kids up an hour early before they have to go out for the bus. They fucking hate me for it, but they start their day off on a better foot because they're calm when they walk out the door. They're prepared for the day. Then I get the second kid up, get them moving and motivated for the day. Then I run upstairs. I take my medicine, throw my clothes on, kiss my wife goodbye, come back downstairs, make sure everybody's ready to go, maybe pack my lunch at this point, start my truck, keep an eye on everybody, and then I have a few minutes to finish my cup of coffee, whatever. And then I get in my truck and I go to work. And I'm on time to work. Another thing. I'm not late to work. And I'm not in a panic because I don't have to worry about traffic because I leave in time. Leave myself enough time to get where I'm going on time, which we've discussed before, the importance of being on time. So this is basically how I start my day almost every day. I try to shoot for getting up at the very least, because the second job is on Saturday, and I don't obviously have kids to wake up, stuff like that, and I have to be there later than my primary job. But I try to wake up 2 hours early before I have to go there. Why? I just want to relax and start my day off nice and easy. I don't want to procrastinate because procrastination creates panic. So, there you go. There's proof in the pudding. You develop a morning routine and you stick to that. Another great way to do that is you can make a list. You can do a to-do list, checklist, set alarms on your phone. I've gone as far as that. And it's amazing, kind of the time that we get for ourselves. I know that. Well, it's as fathers, as husbands, we don't always have a ton of time to ourselves where it's uninterrupted with what our family needs from us. And getting up early while everybody is still in bed, dude, that's 100% you time. 100%. You do not have to talk to anybody. You don't have to turn the lights on. You don't have to do anything other than what you want to do, right? It's very freeing. It's like liberating. And that's a huge benefit. A huge benefit of having a morning routine and not procrastinating. That is the focus of today's episode. Stop the procrastination. And once you stop that, once you can get a hold and you can stay consistent with your morning routine, then you can move on to bigger and better things because now you're disciplined enough to stop procrastinating, stay active, stay organized, stay calm, and you're gonna be successful, right? I don't like to listen. I'm totally aware. What's my saying here? Life isn't always epic. You're right. It's not. That's not what this podcast is about. That's not what I'm about, and that's not who I'm trying to talk to. I'm not trying to talk to the entrepreneurs who want to be Fortune 500 companies in 3 years. Okay, I'm just talking to the doughy guys that work the 9 to 5, and we got some kids, and we got a wife, and we eat our fucking lunch out of fucking Ziploc bags and Tupperware containers. Just the normal everyday guy who's not trying to fucking go out in the world and be something that, well, be something that they're not, right? We're just comfortable with who we are. But what I'm getting at is the procrastination, it better serves us, it better serves our family, and it allows us to kind of be a better person because we can be more at ease, we can be calmer. We'll be in a better mood, and we'll just generally be happier men. So think about that. If that's an issue for you, I hope that this episode kind of brought you maybe some realization or some help on what you can do to overcome this. I think that I feel like a huge fucking hypocrite because this is my biggest downfall, is being a procrastinator. But I'm still going to talk about it because it's not just for you, it's for me too. So I'm hearing it in my headphones as I say it. And I'm kind of almost running on on autopilot here a little bit, but I'm so it's almost like I'm in the audience right now because this is something that I need to work on as well. So for today, I don't want to sound too intense, I guess. So we'll knock off for today. But thank you for being here, and I appreciate you listening to the podcast. I really do, and I hope you're enjoying the content that I provide. Please, by all means, give me a like, a follow, 5-star rating, whatever it may be that you can possibly do wherever you're listening. Reach out to me on X or Instagram or even through the email. And as always, head over to YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble. Check out the video content that I'm starting to roll out. Trying to do a lot. Can't procrastinate when you got all these you have all these avenues to fulfill, right? So I'm challenging myself a little bit, and I would appreciate you going over and just checking that out. That would be huge to me. But for today, take care of yourselves and each other.